What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to go over Turkish Get Ups. It's a great exercise that is going to give you a lot bang for your buck. It's going to work on your mobility, shoulder and core stability and strength, and total body functional strength. We're also going to go over the 10 most common mistakes done with the Get Up and how to correct them. Also, I'm going to show you a couple of fun and challenging variations that you can incorporate in your practice. Enjoy! If you're new to the Turkish get-ups, I would suggest first starting with body weight. And then as you get more comfortable, you can gradually load up the exercise. Okay, so we're going to come down to the floor. You're going to bend one knee. The same side arm is going to be up. This leg, I'm going to bring it slightly out in an angle. The other leg is straight. I'm going to also bring it slightly out in an angle. The same arm is going to be parallel to this leg. Okay, so first step, I want to drive hard through that foot as I pull with my opposite elbow to roll up to my elbow, to use the whole body into the first step in the get up. So coming down, one of the most common mistakes is people are going to think more as a sit-up, flexing too much through their spine without using the rest of their body. Okay, so it's not a sit-up, it's going to be more as roll up to the elbow. Another common mistake is going to be people are going to relax that bottom shoulder. If I have very heavy weight up in this hand, all the pressure is going to come down in that shoulder. So instead, I want to think about pushing down into the floor and spread my chest open to create more stability. I should feel that bottom lat working as I perform the step. With the next step, I'm going to come up to the hand just like a tricep extension. One of the most common mistakes with this step is going to be, again, just like first step, people are going to over relax that shoulder. So this shoulder is going to shrug. Instead, think about pushing into the floor, spread your chest open to create more stability. Another common mistake is going to be people are going to place their fingertips facing forward, which is going to be really hard to create stability at that shoulder. Not very natural position for the shoulder. Instead, rotate your fingertips back. It will be easier to set the shoulder in a more stable position. The next step is going to be a bridge. So I'm going to push hard through that foot as far as with my hand, and I'm going to lift my hips. Common mistake with this step is people are going to try to lift their hips too high and flare their rib cage and arch their low back. So just keep your ribs down. Also, if you exhale to create more tension at the abs, that is going to prevent your rib cage from flaring up. The next step is a low sweep. So this straight leg, I'm going to bring it under my body. A common mistake here is going to be people are going to take a too small step, and it will be a very uncomfortable position to perform the rest of the steps. So instead, you want to bring the leg all the way back and pretty much in line with your hand. So we're going to create like a triangle between your foot, leg, and the hand. And your knee, foot are going to be in line with the hand. The next step is going to be a half kneeling windmill. So from here, I'm going to sit my hips back towards my heel and then come up. It's going to be a hip hinge movement. One common mistake with this movement is people are going to start moving through their spines too much without moving their hips. So we're going to start up and then moving too much through their spines. Instead, just remember, it's going to be just like a deadlift. So you want to move primarily through your hips. So hips back towards the heel and then come up, is to keep your spine nice and straight. The next step is going to be pretty simple. So this back leg, I'm going to pivot it. And then you want to create two 90 degrees angles with both legs in a good half kneeling position. So 90 degrees in this leg, 90 degrees in the bottom leg. The final step going up is going to be, we're going to push hard through the front foot and stand up nice and tall. A common mistake here is going to be people are going to allow their arm to fall forward. Instead, just remember, you want to keep your bicep in line with your ear and your arm nice and vertical. The other common mistake is going to be people are going to arch their spines in order to keep their arm up. Just remember, exhale, keep your rib cage down and keep the core engaged. And final mistake is going to be, especially when it gets very heavy, people are gonna start bending their elbow. Think about squeezing your tricep and keep your arm as straight as possible. Once you come at the top position, then we're going to reverse it. So I'm going to take a step back into a reverse lunge, gently touch the floor with the back knee. From here, I'm gonna pivot my back leg, and then half kneeling windmill. I'm gonna push my hips back towards my heel and place my hand down. From here, I'm gonna kick my leg out to come to the bridge position. I'm gonna lower my hips to the floor, down to the elbow, and then all the way down on the floor. So now when you set up with a get up, you wanna roll down to one side. So here I'm gonna have about 90-degree bend at my elbow. I'm gonna bring my elbow underneath the rib cage. I'm gonna grab the kettlebell with both hands, and I'm gonna roll to my back. Press the weight with my both hands, and then from here I'm gonna start doing the get up. After you're done, we're gonna grab the weight with both hands, lower the elbow to the side of the ribs, and roll to one side. Another very common mistake when you do the get-ups with the kettlebell is people are going to start bending their wrist. So when you set up for the get-up, you want to keep your wrist in neutral position, so avoid any bending of the wrist. So when you position the kettlebell in your palm, instead of having the in neutral straight path across your palm, you see how my wrist is bent? You want to position it instead a little bit more diagonal, just like this. And then we're going to grip it nice and tight. You can see I can maintain much stronger position at my wrist. Another very common mistake when you're doing the get up with the kettlebell is people are going to keep their shoulder over relaxed. So instead you want to pack your shoulder. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So when you grab the kettlebell and set up, you can see how my shoulder is relaxed right now. It's not very stable. Instead, I want to push my shoulder down away from my ear and squeeze my armpit to engage my lat muscle. So right now I create much more stability at my shoulder. And then you want to maintain that tension as you perform the whole movement to avoid any instability at your shoulder and build more control over the movement. Okay, now after you master a proper technique with the get up, I'm going to show a couple of different variations that you can incorporate. For the first variation, we're going to need a single yoga block. I really like this variation, using it mostly in the warm-ups to help you to build more control and better technique with the get ups. So we're going to come down to the floor and place the yoga block on your knuckles. So the yoga block is going to force you to keep your wrist straight. Otherwise, if you bend it, the yoga block is going to fall. Also, you need to pack your shoulder to create more stability and maintain good balance with the yoga block. Otherwise, if the shoulder is loose, it's going to be really hard to perform the movement. So I'm going to pack my shoulder, my wrist is straight. I'm going to roll up to the elbow, to the hand, bridge, low sweep, thunder, up, stand up. I'm going to reverse it. It's pretty nice and fun drill to incorporate a couple of repetitions on each side before you practice the movement with weight. Alright, so the next variation I'm about to show is going to be a great variation for helping you build a good grip strength and shoulder stability. It's going to be a balance-up get-up. So we're going to hold the kettlebell in a bottoms-up position. So obviously here I need much more stability and control. Probably need to lower the weight like probably a third of what you're capable of doing with normal get-ups. Been much more challenging on my grip as well. Here, then coming all the way back down. Okay, now the last variation I'm going to show you is going to be in each step of the Turkish Get Up, you're going to pause and perform a single press. So it's going to be a great variation because you're going to have a lot of time under tension, which is great for building hypertrophy. But also in each step, as you pause, you want to build a good stable position for you to create a press. So it's going to be good for also building better technique. We're going to have total 13 presses. So I'm going to lower my elbow down to the rib cage and press it up. I'm going to come up to the elbow down to the rib cage, press. Next step, I'm going to press, I'm gonna bridge, maintain the bridge position, elbow down, press, then the low sweep. With this step, I'm gonna rotate my arm, my palm is facing me, and press it up. I'm gonna get under the weight, come up, press, and then stand up. One more press, and I'm gonna reverse it. Step back, press, pivot, hinge back, place the hand down, rotate my arm, press, kick my leg out to bridge, keep in the bridge position, press, hips down, press to the elbow, press, and then final press.